Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming here today. I'm Tommy Lynch, the Director of Parks and Recreation. Welcome to Centennial Park in this beautiful historical oasis in Midtown. As many of you are aware, this project was initiated several years ago when Mayor Dean challenged the private sector to come up with a conceptual plan for Centennial Park. Several corporate citizens, including Vanderbilt and HCA, provided funding for the plan. This public-private partnership includes the Conservancy for Centennial Park, and at this time I'd like to bring Hope Stringer to the podium, the chairman of the board for the Conservancy, to share a few thoughts on the park and the project.
Thank you, Tommy. It's a privilege to be a part of the first phase of the city's master plan to restore and revitalize Centennial Park, one of Nashville's most important icons. What Nashvilleian doesn't have a fond memory of being here, whether for a picnic, a concert, a festival, or just feeding the ducks? Prestigious visitors from all over the globe, presidents, ambassadors, even King Constantine of Greece, movie stars and musicians have been drawn here over the years, and they will continue to be. Centennial Park is a part of our city's fabric, and it is critical that we maintain this treasure for future generations. We know the community shares this sentiment because of the outpouring of support we've received for the first phase of the park's restoration. Now that Lake Watauga has been dredged and cleaned, we begin work on Cockrill Springs. Then we will construct a permanent home for Musicians Corner, and parking improvements surrounding the Parthenon will follow that. None of this would have been possible without the generous support from members of the community, and especially our wonderful Mayor Dean and Tommy Lynch, Director of Metro Parks. I especially want to thank the Conservancy Board of Directors for its foresight in taking the park to this level and making a permanent private-public partnership that is unique and effective, and it will ensure the restoration of our most treasured park. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Hope. Before I turn the podium over to the mayor, there are several key players in this process that I need to acknowledge. We have two members of our park board that are here today, George Anderson, our park board chair, and Christy Smith, who's the newest member of the park board. Thank you both for being here. I would like to also acknowledge we have Rock City contractors that are here, and the work of Thomas Votes of Nelson Bird Votes for designing the entire project. Centennial has long been the Central Park of Nashville with its iconic Parthenon, which was host to the Centennial Exposition, the United Nations, and millions of visitors each year. It's beginning to show its age, and this is the first planned renovation with thoughts directed toward the present and to accommodate future needs. We want to make sure that everyone understands that the Parthenon will remain open throughout the process and that every effort has made to prudently address our canopy and ecosystem of the park. As Hope mentioned, we started the process with the dredging and the cleaning of Lake Watauga, the Cockrill Springs and Musicians Corner project, along with parking improvements at the Parthenon, continue the process. None of this would be possible without the vision and leadership provided by our Mayor Carl Dean. He's been instrumental in adding to the park acreage across the county, preserving thousands of acres of land for its natural habitat and for the usage by residents and visitors to our fair city. He continues to support our environment with this project initiated today and addresses the needs of our neighbors by providing places and spaces that make choosing a healthy lifestyle easier for everyone. A great city needs a great leader, and we certainly have someone who's led us from the precipice of natural disaster and economic collapse into the age of being one of the most acclaimed cities in the country. With that, here's our Mayor, Carl Dean.
Well, thank you, Tommy. That was a very, very kind introduction. And together today, we're breaking ground on a major step to revitalize Nashville's most iconic park. Since its creation over a century ago, Centennial Park has been at the heart of our city as a prominent place for community, music, recreation, and the arts. The design and vision of these improvements to Centennial Park capture not only the rich history that the park represents for our city, but also creates an aesthetic and sustainable monument for centuries to come. I'm grateful for the efforts of the Conservancy and all the support that they continue to provide for this gem. This park holds a special place in the history of Nashville and the hearts of our citizens. As you may know, it was Nashville's first public park, created for Tennessee's 1897 Centennial Exposition, which is similar to a World's Fair. This park led to the establishment of Nashville's park system and park systems across the state. To this day, it is a place where the people of our city gather and celebrate. What I personally enjoy most about the park is that you can come here any day of the week for an event or just to enjoy some of the outdoors, and you will see a diverse makeup of people that represent our entire city. Neighborhood parks are great to serve individual communities, but this is truly every Nashvillian's park that just not only local residents enjoy, but visitors do from around the world. Its ability to bring people together from all walks of life is something we should treasure. Because this park is so valuable to our community, I was excited when the Conservancy approached me over 3 years ago with the idea to revitalize it and bring back some of its historic features to their original glory. The Conservancy suggested a public-private partnership, and these public-private partnerships I think are absolutely key to almost anything creative we can do in government, to take on this endeavor and for me to appoint a restoration committee to select a world-class landscape design firm to draft a template for the future of Centennial Park. This committee got to work quickly, and 2 years later the Centennial Park Master Plan was announced. The master plan has been made possible because of a public-private partnership as an investment in our park's future. We went forward with funding the cost of the project through several capital spending plans approved by the Metro Council, as well as significant capital contributions from the Metro Water Services and private donors that altogether have made the implementation of Centennial Park's master plan feasible. So today we are here to celebrate an exciting step in the first phase of the plan, the daylighting of Cockrill Spring. This unearthed spring will be a prominent feature of a new pedestrian entrance to the park where we are standing today. The spring will come to the surface and then spill into a stone-lined channel before sinking back into the ground, where the water will be used to irrigate the grounds and to supply Lake Watauga. And there's a great picture of what's envisioned here. The daylighting of this Cockrill Spring is one of several exciting projects in the first phase of Centennial Park's revitalization, and is one more stride toward elevating Centennial Park as one of the best parks in the country. Not only will this project be aesthetically significant, it's environmentally significant as well, as we work as a city to better value our great natural resources like this spring. With continued support, the community can expect more features like Cockrill Spring in the future. Centennial has been an essential part of the city's fabric for more than a century, and I'm excited that we are laying the course for Centennial Park to remain a gem in our city's park system for the next century and beyond. Now I want to invite Tommy and Hope to join me in the actual daylighting. All right, 1, 2, 3. Can I have a sip?
Clear water.
All right, let's go. All right, look at that. Yay!